What happens when a beloved morning television presenter walks onto a talk show expecting a friendly chat, only to face an ambush that spirals into one of the most shocking on-air meltdowns in British television history? In just 47 seconds, a simple question turns into a full-blown battle that leaves the studio in absolute chaos and one host permanently banned from ever returning. Holly Willoughby arrives at the studio with her trademark smile, wearing a soft cream-colored blouse and looking every bit the picture of grace and professionalism. The audience cheers as she walks onto the set, waving warmly to the crowd before taking her seat across from Lorraine Kelly. Sitting alongside Lorraine are her regular panelists, Andy Peters and Christine Lampard, both smiling but with an edge of something else in their expressions. Something that Holly cannot quite read yet. Lorraine does not waste time with pleasantries. She leans forward, her smile tight and sharp, and launches straight into it. So, Holly, let's talk about your career, shall we? Because I think everyone here is dying to know how exactly you've managed to stay relevant for so long, when, let's be honest, you've never really done anything groundbreaking, have you? The audience falls silent. Holly's smile falters for just a moment before she recovers, keeping her composure. I'm sorry, Lorraine. I'm not sure I understand what you mean. I've worked incredibly hard over the years, and I'm proud of what I've accomplished. Lorraine laughs, but it is cold and mocking. Worked hard? Darling, sitting on a sofa and reading off a teleprompter isn't exactly hard work, is it? My production team could train a golden retriever to do what you do. Christine shifts uncomfortably in her seat while Andy looks down at his notes, clearly not expecting things to turn this hostile this quickly. Holly takes a deep breath, her hands clasped tightly in her lap. I think that's quite unfair, Lorraine. I've built a career on connecting with viewers and making them feel welcome in their own homes every morning. That takes skill and dedication. Skill? Lorraine's voice rises, dripping with contempt. The only skill you have is batting your eyelashes and giggling at whatever your co-hosts say. You're a professional yes-woman, Holly. Nothing more. The audience gasps. Holly's face flushes, but she maintains her dignity. I came here today thinking we were going to have a respectful conversation about my work and my upcoming projects. I didn't come here to be insulted. Andy Peters finally speaks up, trying to diffuse the tension. Ladies, maybe we should take a step back and, keep things friendly. We're all colleagues here. Lorraine whips her head toward Andy. Stay out of this, Andy. This is between me and Miss Perfect over here. She turns back to Holly, her eyes narrowing. You know what really bothers me? It's how you've coasted through your entire career on your looks, while the rest of us have had to actually prove ourselves with talent. Holly's jaw tightens. That is completely out of line. I have worked for over 2 decades in this industry, building relationships with viewers, handling difficult interviews, and yes, bringing warmth and authenticity to everything I do. Just because my approach is different from yours doesn't make it less valid. Authenticity? Lorraine scoffs loudly. There's nothing authentic about you. You're a carefully manufactured product, packaged and sold to housewives who don't know any better. You've never had an original thought in your life. Christine tries to intervene now, her voice gentle but firm. Lorraine, I really think we should move on to a different topic. This is getting a bit too personal. Oh, please, Christine, Lorraine snaps. Don't pretend you don't agree with me. We've all talked about this behind closed doors. How Holly gets opportunity after opportunity handed to her, while actual talented presenters get pushed aside. Holly stands up slightly in her seat, her voice trembling with controlled anger. You have no right to speak for other people or to make assumptions about my career. I have earned every single opportunity I've received. I've worked weekends, holidays, early mornings, late nights. I've sacrificed time with my family to be there for viewers. Lorraine waves her hand dismissively. Oh, here we go with the martyr routine. Poor Holly, working such hard hours reading questions someone else wrote for her. Do you want a medal? I want respect, Holly says firmly, her voice cutting through the tension. something you clearly have no concept of. I came here as a guest on your show, and you've done nothing but attack me from the moment I sat down. The audience begins to murmur, some people nodding in agreement with Holly. Lorraine notices this, and her expression darkens further. You want to talk about respect? Let's talk about how you've built your entire brand on being non-threatening and vanilla, while the rest of us take risks and actually say something meaningful. I connect with people, Holly replies, her voice steady now. I make them feel seen and heard. That's not vanilla. That's empathy. Something you could learn a thing or two about. Andy tries once more to calm things down. Look, I think both of you are talented in your own ways. There's room for different styles in television. We don't need to tear each other down. Lorraine ignores him completely. You know what the real joke is, Holly? You think people love you, but they don't. They tolerate you. You're background noise while they drink their tea and scroll through their phones. You're forgettable. Holly's eyes flash with anger now. If I'm so forgettable, why did you invite me on your show? Why are you spending so much energy trying to tear me down? Could it be that you're threatened by the fact that viewers respond to kindness instead of whatever this is? She gestures toward Lorraine. The audience erupts in scattered applause. Lorraine's face turns red. Threatened? By you? That's laughable. I've been in this industry longer than you. I've won more awards than you. And I've actually made an impact on journalism and broadcasting. What have you done besides smile pretty? I've made people happy, Holly says quietly, but powerfully. I've been there for them during their morning routines, during difficult times, during celebrations. I've interviewed everyone, from world leaders to everyday heroes, and I've treated them all with the same dignity and respect. Can you say the same? Christine nods slightly, clearly moved by Holly's words. Lorraine sees this, and her anger intensifies. Oh, please, don't act like you're some kind of saint. You're just as calculating as the rest of us. You're just better at hiding it behind that sweet girl act. It's not an act, Holly insists. This is who I am. I'm sorry if you find genuineness so hard to believe, but that says more about you than it does about me. Lorraine leans forward, her voice dripping with venom. You want to know what I really think? I think you're a fraud. I think you've fooled an entire nation into believing you're this warm, caring person when really you're just empty. There's nothing behind those eyes except ambition dressed up as sweetness. The studio falls completely silent. Even the cameramen seem to hold their breath. Holly stands up slowly, her hands shaking slightly, but her voice clear and strong. I have sat here and listened to you insult my intelligence, my work ethic, my character, and my authenticity. I have tried to remain civil and dignified because that's what I was raised to do. But I will not sit here for one more second and allow you to speak to me this way. Andy and Christine exchange worried glances. Lorraine crosses her arms, a smug smile on her face. What are you going to do, Holly? Run away? That's very on brand for you. I'm not running, Holly says firmly. I'm choosing not to waste another moment of my time with someone who clearly has no interest in having a real conversation. Someone who invited me here under false pretenses just to humiliate me on national television. False pretenses? Lorraine laughs harshly. I invited you here to finally have someone call out your mediocrity. Someone needed to say what everyone in this industry has been thinking for years. Holly picks up her purse from beside her chair. You don't speak for everyone, Lorraine. You speak for yourself and your own insecurities. The fact that you need to tear down another woman to feel important is truly sad. The audience begins to applaud, softly at first, then growing louder. Lorraine's smile disappears. Sit down, Holly. We're not done here. Yes, we are, Holly responds calmly. I'm done being disrespected. I'm done being your punching bag, and I'm done pretending that this kind of behavior is acceptable in any professional setting. Christine speaks up, her voice supportive. Holly, I think you're absolutely right to stand up for yourself. This has been completely unfair. Lorraine turns on Christine immediately. Excuse me? Whose side are you on? I'm on the side of basic human decency, Christine replies, quietly but firmly. What you've done here today is cruel and unnecessary. Andy nods in agreement. She's right, Lorraine. This went way too far. Holly came here as a guest, and you've treated her terribly. Lorraine looks around wildly, seeing that she's losing control of the situation. This is my show! How dare you question my judgment? Your show, Holly interjects, her voice cutting. Your show where you bully guests and attack them personally? Where you use your platform to spread negativity and cruelty? I feel sorry for anyone who has to work with you. The audience applauds again, even louder this time. Some people are standing now. Lorraine points a finger at Holly, her hand trembling with rage. You have no idea what you're talking about. I built this show from nothing. I've given opportunities to countless people. You've what, Lorraine? Holly challenges. Made yourself feel superior by putting others down? Used your position to settle personal scores? Because from where I'm standing, that's all you've done today. Lorraine stands up now too, her voice rising to a shout. Get out! Get out of my studio right now! I'm already leaving, Holly says with dignity. I don't need to be told twice. But before I go, I want everyone watching to know something. Success in this industry, in any industry, should never come at the cost of our humanity. We can be ambitious. We can be competitive. But we should never lose our kindness. And we should never make others feel small just to make ourselves feel big. She begins to walk toward the exit. Lorraine, desperate to have the last word, shouts after her. You'll regret this, Holly. Nobody walks out on me and gets away with it. Holly pauses and turns back, her expression calm and resolute. The only thing I regret is agreeing to come here in the first place. I should have known better than to expect professionalism from someone who clearly has none. Andy stands up now, removing his microphone. You know what, Lorraine? I think I'm done too. I can't be part of this anymore. Christine nods and begins removing her microphone as well. Lorraine looks panicked now, watching her show fall apart in real time. What are you doing? Sit down. Both of you. Sit down right now. No, Christine says simply. Not when you're acting like this. Holly's right. This isn't okay. The audience is on its feet now, applauding Holly as she walks toward the exit. Some people are even cheering. Lorraine's face is purple with rage and embarrassment. This is ridiculous. She's manipulated all of you. Can't you see what she's doing? Holly reaches the door, but turns one final time. I'm not manipulating anyone, Lorraine. I'm simply refusing to accept being treated poorly. That's something everyone should do. She looks at the audience. Thank you all for your support. It means more than you know. As Holly exits through the door, the applause reaches a crescendo. Andy and Christine follow behind her, leaving Lorraine standing alone on the stage. A producer rushes onto the set, trying to salvage the situation, but the damage is done. Lorraine grabs her coffee mug and slams it down on the table, the liquid spilling across her notes. This is absurd! I was just being honest. Since when is honesty a crime? But the studio audience is already filing out, many of them shaking their heads in disapproval. The cameras continue rolling, capturing every moment of Lorraine's meltdown. She looks directly into the main camera, her voice desperate now. She's not who you think she is. None of them are. I'm the only one brave enough to tell the truth. A stage manager approaches cautiously. Lorraine, we need to cut to commercial. We need to end this. End this? Lorraine's voice cracks. We're just getting started. Bring her back. Bring Holly back here right now, and let's finish this conversation like adults. But Holly is already gone, along with most of the dignity and respect Lorraine's show once commanded. The stage manager signals to the control room, and the cameras finally stop rolling, leaving Lorraine standing in the wreckage of what was supposed to be a simple celebrity interview. In the hallway outside, Holly is surrounded by crew members, many of them apologizing profusely for what just happened. Andy puts a supportive hand on her shoulder. "Are you okay? That was intense." Holly takes a deep breath and nods. "I'm okay. I'm actually better than okay. I should have stood up for myself sooner." Christine hugs her tightly. "You were amazing in there. Truly. The way you handled yourself with such grace under that kind of attack, it was inspiring." "Thank you," Holly says softly. "Both of you. Thank you for backing me up. That meant everything." Through the studio door, they can still hear Lorraine's voice, growing more and more agitated as she argues with producers. Andy shakes his head. "I can't believe she thought that was going to go well." "What was she thinking?" "She wasn't thinking," Christine replies. "She was reacting from a place of insecurity and jealousy. It was never about Holly's work or her talent. It was about Lorraine feeling threatened." Holly adjusts her purse on her shoulder and straightens her blouse. "Well, I won't let her issues become my burden. I came here in good faith, and I left with my integrity intact. That's what matters." A security guard approaches them. "Miss Willoughby, we have a car waiting to take you wherever you need to go. And, if I may say so, you handled that situation with remarkable class." "Thank you," Holly smiles warmly. "That's very kind of you to say." As they walk toward the exit, they pass a monitor showing a replay of the confrontation. Holly glances at it briefly and then looks away, refusing to dwell on the negativity. Andy notices and smiles. "Not even tempted to watch it back?" "Not at all," Holly replies. "I lived through it once. That's quite enough." Christine laughs. "You're a better person than me. I'd be analyzing every word, every expression." "What's the point?" Holly says philosophically. "I know what happened. I know how I conducted myself. And I know that I stayed true to who I am throughout the entire thing. That's all that matters to me." They reach the parking area where Holly's car is indeed waiting. Before she gets in, she turns to Andy and Christine one more time. "Seriously, thank you both. Standing up with me like that, walking off the set, that took courage. I won't forget it." Andy shrugs modestly. "We couldn't sit there and watch that happen without saying something. It wouldn't have been right. Besides," Christine adds with a grin, "someone needed to tell Lorraine that her behavior was unacceptable. Might as well be us." Holly hugs them both again and then climbs into the car. As it pulls away from the studio, she looks back at the building one last time. Inside those walls, chaos is probably still unfolding. Producers scrambling, executives making phone calls, Lorraine refusing to accept any responsibility for what just transpired. But Holly feels surprisingly calm. She feels lighter, actually. Standing up for herself, refusing to be diminished, walking away with her head held high, it all feels empowering in a way she had not expected. She pulls out her phone and sees it is already flooding with messages from friends, family, and colleagues who somehow already heard about what happened. She types out a simple message to her closest friends. "Just left the studio. Long story. I'll call you later. I'm fine. Actually, I'm better than fine." As the car navigates through London traffic, Holly watches the city pass by her window. She thinks about all the times in her career when she stayed silent in the face of criticism, when she smiled through uncomfortable situations, when she prioritized being agreeable over being authentic. Today was different. Today, she chose herself. The driver glances at her in the rearview mirror. "Rough day at work, Miss Willoughby?" She smiles genuinely. "You could say that, but also strangely, one of the most important days of my career." "How's that then?" he asks kindly. "I learned that sometimes walking away is the strongest thing you can do," Holly replies, "and that your dignity is worth more than any television appearance." The driver nods approvingly. Wise words that. Very wise indeed. Back at the studio, the aftermath continues to unfold in real time. Producers are in emergency meetings, trying to figure out how to address what just happened. The footage is already being reviewed, dissected, analyzed from every angle. Some argue it should never air. Others insist that transparency demands it be shown exactly as it happened. Lorraine sits in her dressing room, makeup smeared from angry tears, still insisting that she did nothing wrong. That Holly was the problem. That everyone else is too sensitive, too politically correct, too afraid of the truth. But deep down, in a place she refuses to acknowledge even to herself, she knows she crossed a line. Multiple lines, actually. Her publicist sits across from her, tablet in hand, already seeing the social media reaction rolling in. And it is not good. Not good at all. People are outraged. They are defending Holly. They are calling Lorraine a bully. They are demanding apologies. They are saying they will never watch her show again. This is fixable, the publicist says without conviction. We just need to get ahead of the narrative. But Lorraine is not listening. She is replaying the confrontation in her mind, hearing the audience applaud. For Holly, watching Andy and Christine walk off in solidarity. Seeing the look of quiet triumph on Holly's face as she delivered her final words and walked out the door. For the first time in years, Lorraine Kelly feels the sharp sting of consequences. The realization that actions have repercussions, that you cannot treat people terribly and expect to emerge unscathed. That sometimes the person you underestimate is the one who ends up showing you exactly who you really are. Meanwhile, Holly arrives home to a quiet house. She kicks off her heels, makes herself a cup of tea, and sits down on her sofa. The same sofa where she has spent countless mornings connecting with viewers, sharing stories, offering comfort and companionship to millions of people across the country. She thinks about what Lorraine said, about being forgettable, about being background noise, about lacking substance. And then she thinks about the thousands of messages she has received over the years from viewers, telling her that she helped them through difficult mornings, that her presence made them feel less alone, that her kindness mattered. That is not nothing. That is everything. Her phone rings. It is her agent, voice urgent and excited. "Holly, are you sitting down? Because you need to hear this." "I'm sitting," Holly confirms, sipping her tea. "The response to what happened today is overwhelming," her agent gushes. "People are calling you courageous, dignified, inspiring. Everyone is on your side. Everyone. And we are already getting offers, interview requests, you name it. This could be the best thing that ever happened to your career." Holly processes this quietly. That's wonderful. But can we talk about it tomorrow? I just need some time to process everything that happened." Of course, her agent agrees. "But Holly, you did the right thing today. Walking away from that toxicity, standing up for yourself, you showed everyone who you really are. And people love what they saw." After hanging up, Holly sits in silence for a long moment. She does not feel triumphant exactly. She feels exhausted, but also strangely at peace. She refused to be diminished. She refused to accept mistreatment. She chose dignity over drama, substance over spectacle. And in doing so, she proved something important, not just to the millions who will inevitably see footage of what happened, but to herself. That kindness is not weakness. That grace under pressure is its own form of strength. And that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply walk away from people and situations that do not serve you. As the sun sets over London, two very different women sit in two very different states of mind. One surrounded by crisis management teams and damage control strategies, desperately trying to salvage a reputation in freefall. The other surrounded by peace and certainty, knowing that she handled an impossible situation with integrity and emerged stronger. For it, the confrontation lasted less than 20 minutes from start to finish, but its impact will echo far longer becoming a defining moment for both women involved. A cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked ego and misplaced hostility, and a powerful reminder that treating people with respect and dignity never goes out of style. Holly finishes her tea and sets the cup down gently. Tomorrow will bring new challenges, new opportunities, new conversations about what happened today. But tonight, she allows herself to simply be, to breathe, to recognize that she faced one of the most difficult professional situations imaginable and came through it with her values intact. And really, what could be more important than that?